Hello and welcome to episode number 52 of Girlstreamers. Girlstreamers is a podcast bringing you the girl streamers that you know and love. Girlstreamers is a community that supports and promotes girls that stream. We are a bi-weekly podcast and we'll be introducing you to some amazing girl gamers and allow you, the viewer, to get to know some of your favorite streamers. My name is Nymphadora, and with me tonight is MartianKat. If there is time at the end, we will be taking questions from the audience in the channel. This is a live podcast, but we will also be available for download on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. So if you guys have questions, make sure to type !podcast in the chat. So, what's up, MartianKat? How you doing?
I am awesome. Thanks. Excuse me for having me.
So,
I'm jazzed to be here.
Why did it take you so long to get on my podcast?
I don't know. I think I had to get over the nervousness first. I always feel really weird being on camera, so I think that was what it is. I had to get over that first.
But you stream on your own channel on cam, right?
Very rarely. I think I've only done it maybe 3 times in the 2 years.
You know
that
what?
I've been streaming.
Now that I think about it, yeah, every time I go over to your channel, you don't have the cam. But I have been there when you've had it on before, so...
Yes.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Well, you have a pretty face, so I'm glad to have you
Thank
on
you.
the stream. Also, you can't see this, but everybody else can see this. I am drinking the Galaxy. It's a beautiful Galaxy. It fulfills my soul. Okay. For those of you listening at home and not watching the video portion, I have a massive 100-ounce AM/PM jug that is green, so it's chroma keyed out, so it looks like I am drinking the Galaxy background.
That is so cool.
I love it. It cracks me up, man. It cracks me up. So first things first. How'd you get your name?
Well, I am. I tell people that it's almost like the Joker origin story, that there's more than one, and they're all maybe true. But seriously, I'm an Aries, and the ruling planet is Mars, and because of that, I am a Martian.
Okay.
And then Kat is my nickname, so.
Nice. So do you like Marvin the Martian?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I absolutely love Marvin the Martian.
Yes. I used to draw him when you were a kid, did you draw him out? Did you try to draw him out?
No, I would try to play around with doing the voice, though. You know, the space modulator and the earth-shattering kaboom, stuff like that.
Wait,
so,
hold
yeah,
up. Are we not playing? Are we playing this on my channel on accident? Oh my god! Am I really? Oh my god!
Are we on the wrong channel?
We're streaming. We're gonna have to do this over. Since we're at the beginning, we're gonna stop and do this over. No, I did not. Thanks for letting me know, Dennis. This is what happens when you have multiple places that you stream. All right. So, Marvin the Martian. Where are we talking? Oh, drawing Marvin the Martian. Okay, so when I was a kid, middle schoolish, I went through this phase. Middle school, high school, yeah, because I had paintings where I drew all the Looney Tunes. And Marvin the Martian was one of my favorite to draw. Because it was...
Yeah.
They're really simple if you actually look at them and stare at them. They're extremely simple to draw out. So, yeah, it was like the craze to draw Marvin the Martian when I was a kid. I got really good at it.
No, I don't draw, but you know, I like playing with voices and stuff. I mean, not that I do a great voice impression of him, but you know, I would play around with that. I love Marvin the Martian. I think he's a fun character. And it was one of the things that I thought about when I had created, you know, my screen name. So
Nice. So you know you're gonna have to give us the voice, right?
Oh, the earth shattering kaboom and all that. No, I'm not good at that. I can't do it.
So where do you hail from?
I am streaming from Phoenix, Arizona. That's where I am now. But
What? That's what's up.
yeah, but originally I'm from Southern California. So,
Oh, really? What part of Southern California? Can I ask?
uh, sure. I'm from a little town called Apple Valley. It's in the middle of the desert,
I know
in the middle
Apple.
of nowhere.
My husband has talked about Apple Valley before.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
Um,
It's a small town. It's nice. It's a nice place to live.
it's a nice place to live, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
um, so do you like it in Phoenix?
Love it. I love it. I've been here about 12 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah.
My phone is blowing
And,
up all of a sudden. I'm sorry.
oh,
I have
that's
to
all
put
right.
it away and I had to silence it and stuff. Sorry.
No worries.
So, all right, I have a story for you then because I didn't realize you lived in Phoenix. We went to California to transport hubby's storage back here to Atlanta, and we stopped off in Phoenix, and every single one of the hotels in Phoenix was booked because of some Little League World Series championship thing. And I'm like, that's fine and dandy, but I need a place to stay. So we finally found this. I don't even know what the name of the hotel was, but it was so bad. And it was like in the back alley somewhere. And like if you looked out this window that was not even a real window, it looked like a bathroom window, right? But really long bathroom window. You look out of it, you could see like there was, so when you come in, there was another door in the room to go, it looked to go outside. It was to go outside to the freaking crack alley in the back.
Oh no.
But it was bricked. It was like cemented shut so you couldn't open it. But you could see the fire escape and everything down. And I'm like, this is shady. This is shady AF, man. I'm glad we're staying here one night.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's some pretty rugged places in the downtown area that I would never stay.
So that's my experience with Phoenix. So I'm gonna have to come visit you to have a better one.
Come on through.
We will be soon. So what's the first game that you played that got you into the gaming world?
My first experiences with video games, actually, the first time I actually got to play one was my parents had got us an Atari 400. It was actually a word processor that played video games, and Pac-Man and Star Raiders were my first games, and I loved them. Loved them. I played Star Raiders to the very end, and I loved that game.
Nice. Nice. I never played Star Raiders, actually. I played, Pac-Man, and I think my favorite one was the one where you swing the rope across the... Was it Pitfall?
Pitfall, yeah.
I loved Pitfall.
I love that one. Yeah.
Um,
And the toughest thing about Star Raiders is as you flew your ship, you would have to refuel in space. And you only had a certain window to refuel your spaceship, and if you missed it, if you didn't get your ship perfectly at to the refueler, it was going to be done. You were going to lose fuel and crash. So you had to make sure that you got to the refueler on time, like quick. Yeah, I got real good at that. I died a lot though.
So how long have you been streaming?
Been streaming just about 2.5 years now. Yeah. And it's been a lot of fun. I started March
So you started around the
2016.
same time that I started then.
Yeah,
Um, so then, okay, so you joined Girl Streamers not long after you started streaming.
right. Yeah. Yeah, and I had heard about it, just by being on Twitter and stuff and seeing the tag, and um, I I waited. I actually waited. I didn't know that you could just join the community. I thought I needed a following first, so I waited until I hit 100 followers, and then I asked to join Girl Streamers.
I
Yeah.
find that so funny. We were talking about this in the pre-show, and I remember like you were either I don't know if you were the first group, but I think you were either the second or third group. But you're part of the Twitter DMs. Oh my god, those were my little
Good
heart
time.
is so filled with our Discord because it's so well organized. Thank you, Carice and Dead Mannequin. Those Twitter messengers just make me want to shoot myself. That's how bad it was. Cause
Yeah,
you
it
just
gets real busy.
it was like daily chat for literally everything.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
There was no, it was awful. It was awful. But I remember you in there, and it was hard to keep up with for that.
Oh
That was
yeah.
one of those. That's when I learned that you know what? When I wake up to 400 messages, I will read back to about 20 and try and catch up on the most recent conversation. But I'm not reading 400 messages.
No, no. I
I
mean,
don't
the way I
expect
do
other
it.
people to read mine either. So.
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, the way I do it, it's like with Twitter and Facebook. If it's not on the front page, I probably didn't see it. Probably didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many people ask me, hey, did you see my thing that I posted on Facebook? Like, if it wasn't there when I was there for 2 seconds to look at the things other people told me to look at, I didn't see it. Because I
Yeah.
don't really, I will post things, mostly gaming related on Facebook, and then I'm out. I'm done.
Hmm. Yes.
So what actually got you into streaming?
A friend of mine had told me about it, and he said, "Well, you're already here playing video games anyway," and he's like, "And you have a really nice voice. You should just go ahead and try to check out this site." So I was like, "Well, what is Twitch? I have no idea what that is," And he started sending me links of streamers to watch, and it got me interested. So I was like, "You know what? All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah, let's do this."
So a friend is what got you into streaming.
Yeah,
Nice. Very
yeah, because
nice.
I would talk about and explain games that I was playing and stuff, and I had actually started doing some game reviews, and he was like, "Well, you should just do all this over here, and I can watch you do it." So I was like, well, "Okay, sure."
Um, so what is the most embarrassing thing to have ever happened to you on stream so far?
Ooh.
Sorry, I've adjusted my monitor, so I'm looking a lot further to the right than I used to for the questions, so I'm losing my track of questions because I actually have to turn my head away from the camera now.
No problem. Oh gosh, most embarrassing thing that happened. I was really tired from work one night, and I was doing a stream, and I was co-streaming with someone, and honestly, I fell asleep. So I fell asleep while I was streaming.
Did you get banned?
No, no. Luckily, the person that I was streaming with was still talking, so that helped.
Oh, thank
Yeah, so
God.
it was like during a stream. It wasn't like where I just fell asleep and left. Yeah, it happened during stream. So I was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, you know. But I was really tired for work. They knew it. Luckily, my co-host kept it going.
Oh my
And
God.
covered
Were
for me
you
big time.
were you asleep in your chair or what happened? You have to,
Yeah.
I
I
have
was
to know.
I was totally playing the game, or it started playing me because my eyes closed. And I was in the chair.
It started playing me. Oh my god, that is the title of this podcast. Yep, writing that down right now.
It's and and it just happens. Like, so I'm sorry, and then I got up because I can still hear him talking. So I was like, oh, okay, we're still live doing this thing. Oh my god,
Oh my god.
Yep, so that's the most embarrassing thing. Yep.
Would you say that's the most memorable moment as well?
It's one of them, but actually, when I saw your question about the most memorable moment, I shared this on Twitter again because it was hysterical. So I was playing The Walking Dead, the last season of the game, not the one that's coming out. And there's a character in the game that my viewers loved. They loved this character, followed along the whole story and was really interested and invested in this particular character. And I killed her.
Oh no!
Yeah, and of course I get to. They won't let me live it down. They will not let me live it down. And of course, it's on stream delay, so I saw what was happening, and so I was like, oh no, and then they were like, what's going on, and then they finally saw it, and man, the chat went loco. They were nuts. I still get tweets about that. They were not happy.
Your followers in chat right now are calling you a murderer. # murderer. I love how every one of them are like, this is not funny. Oh my god, that is great. That is fantastic. Yeah. So, do you tend to stick with the story-based games, or are you kind of a variety streamer? What type of games do you like to play?
I would say I'm a variety streamer. I play mostly MMOs, shooters, and I still stick with the story-based games, even though I killed the characters that my viewers like.
Oh, that is so great. I'm gonna have to go find this clip.
Oh, I will share it with you. I still have it.
Please, I want to see this. It's so fantastic. Oh my god, that is so great. So I've played seasons 1 and 2 of The Walking Dead, but I know there's so much more. What season was it that you played?
It was season 3. Season 3.
Oh, that's right.
So
season 3 did
season.
come out. Oh, that's right. It came out last year? End of last year?
Yeah.
Middle last year? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta go play season 3 now. Damn.
Yeah, it's good stuff. The last season of the game actually comes out here in a couple weeks, and I'll be playing it. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, I am so behind on the Walking Dead games. I love Telltale games, though. Telltale games are so good. They really are.
Oh, yeah, they're amazing.
So what is your... Okay, so this game is kind of a loaded question. What's your favorite game right now, and what's your favorite game of all times?
Okay. My favorite game right now is Vampire. Even though it frustrates me, I love it. It's so great. The story is well done, even though the map is frustrating because I get lost playing it. But the story is so good that it just keeps me coming back to play it. I really love Vampire. My favorite game of all time. Ooh, that's a tough one. I would have to say it's kind of a tie between Mercenaries Playground of Destruction and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Completely different games, but I love them both.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Vampire, I've seen quite a few people. That came out, at the beginning of the summer?
Yeah.
I mean, it just came out not too long ago.
Yes.
What is it about? Give me a little bit of description about it.
Sure. Vampire, you get to play a character, Dr. Jonathan Reed, and you are in London just after the Great War, World War One. So he comes back and ends up becoming a vampire, and you know, he has to start to investigate things, just not just about his condition, but other illnesses and things that are going around in the area because he is a doctor. So, and
So
there's
he's a
more to
doctor
that.
vampire.
Yeah, he's a doctor that becomes a
What?
vampire. Yeah,
Well,
and
free blood
yeah,
supply. Easy,
yeah,
easy blood
you know,
supply.
and there's this whole shady underworld that he has to go and investigate. You know, so you could do that, and what I love about the game is that you can be as kind as a vampire could be, you know, by not actually killing people, or you could be as ruthless as you want to be. And there are consequences to those actions. So if you start killing people, the game gets harder, and the game tells you that the more you kill, the more difficult the game gets. So
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah,
That's cool. I didn't realize that. All right, I'm gonna have to check this out because I mean I've seen a couple. I know we've got quite a few girls who have loved it so far.
yeah.
That sounds like my kind of game, actually. Not
I
gonna
think you
lie.
would dig it. Yeah, I've streamed it here a few times, you know, but I've actually been playing it more off stream than I have on.
Nice.
So yeah,
See, that's when you know it's a good game when you play it off stream.
yeah.
Like there are some games that I have a hard time waiting to stream it, especially
Mhm.
when I'm trying to complete something or go through something. For example, I was playing Tomb Raider when I got my PlayStation 4, and I wanted to finish the game off stream, but I did not. I streamed every time I played it.
Yeah, you had to hold on.
Uh,
Yeah, and I had started playing it off stream, you know, to get past some of the story because I'm trying to get into it, and then I had viewers who had asked me to come back and play it, so I was like, okay, I got to play it on stream more, you know. I can't be selfish and play it for myself. So they get to see my frustration or hear
So,
it, you know.
do you have a main game that you play on your channel, or do you kind of is it something different every time?
Um, I would say the MMO Friday thing is actually that's something that I've done since the beginning of my stream is play MMOs. Star Wars: The Old Republic I think uh is the most played game on my stream, and it's one that I play often. It's just one of
I
those
couldn't.
staples on the channel.
I wanted to get into that's. Yeah, I got into the beta for that, and I wanted to get into it so bad, but I
Hmm.
just. I was still heavy into WoW at the time, so you know, when you're in one MMO, it's really hard to do multiple ones. And
Hmm.
now I'm kind of over the MMO hump. Like I haven't subscribed to WoW in forever. I will always be Horde for life, but um yeah, I just and I think I bet if like maybe in a year if I got
Hmm.
wanted to get back into an MMO and tried it, I might like it, but yeah, I'm bummed because I really liked the idea of it, but it didn't do as well as they had hoped for it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
would you
you know
say is it about the same as when they started, or has it grown at all? Or
the lore has they've gone through at least two pairings down of the servers, so now there's just a handful for the states, and
oh,
then they have Europe.
okay,
Yeah, and but they continue to add to the story. They keep, you know, and that's what keeps me coming to the game is that they keep adding to the lore, and I love it. The story is fantastic. Yeah,
oh, that's awesome. That's
yeah.
so
So
cool.
yeah, so I always recommend it for people who are fans of Star Wars. You know,
Yeah,
it's like if you love Star Wars, I recommend it. You know, and it's free to play. What's not to love about that?
is it free to play? It wasn't free to play when it first started, though, was it?
No, it
Yeah, I
wasn't.
didn't think
Nope.
so. It went free
Yeah,
to
but it
play
is now.
because it did so poorly as far as. So how do
Getting the
they make
sequel.
money?
They do have their what they call the cartel coin, so it does have some microtransactions, but it doesn't add like stats or anything to the characters. It used to, but that they stopped with that. That's been a few years now. So
Oh.
when you get the cool costume pieces and stuff, it's all base level, and then you have to go and add the modifiers to your equipment.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. I like costumes.
Yeah,
I spend money on costumes. When I
I
was
I'm all about
really,
that.
really big into Overwatch, I used to spend lots of money on it. And I'm just not into Blizzard right now. I love Blizzard as a company and everything, and I love their games, but I'm really digging the indie vibe right now.
Yeah.
There's so many good
indie,
indie games out there.
absolutely.
So, what is it that actually attracts you about Star Wars? Is it just the lore, or is it just you're a Star Wars fan? Is it like what is it?
I'm an accidental Star Wars fan.
Okay,
And
explain.
so, back, when I first moved out of my parents' house and stuff, and moved out on my own, I didn't have cable, but I had a VCR. So I watched Star Wars on VHS every night when I came home from work.
Oh,
It
that
was
is
the
so
special
funny.
edition. So it was Star Wars movies and Looney Tunes. That's what I watched when I came
Oh
home
my
from
god.
work.
That is great. That's so funny. That's how I became a Stargate fan, actually. When I went to college, my roommate at the time did not want to do, she didn't want cable. We had internet, but she didn't want TV. But she
Yeah.
had all 9 seasons of Stargate. So guess who watched all 9 seasons of Stargate?
Yes.
And then guess
So,
who watched them with her brother when he came to visit? That's funny.
Yeah.
That is so
So
funny.
You know how I feel then. You know how I feel. But yeah, that was, before the prequels came out and stuff, and that's what I watched is, episodes 4, 5, and 6. Well, then they weren't 4, 5, and 6, but, yeah.
You mean 1, 2, and 3?
1, 2, and 3. Before they changed.
We don't talk about the midichlorians.
I love those movies. People trash them. I love them.
They're
Yeah.
they do okay. All right.
They're fun. They're fun.
I'll give you that. But we're gonna take a quick film lesson, okay?
Okay.
When you watch a movie and you look at the graphics and the special effects of a movie, usually you can tell they are of their time. The special effects in the original trilogy actually still hold up. The special effects in the prequel trilogy do not hold up. And they should have, considering it was far superior in technology. So
yeah, I agree
that's
with that.
why the prequels are garbage, in my opinion, because the graphics do not hold up like they should.
Right. I agree with you there. That it does. They shouldn't look dated, but they do.
They look more dated than most mid 2000s movies. Like they look, honestly, like you watch a 90s movie and you watch a early 2000s movie. Hell, even the Matrix still looks good.
Yeah, I love those movies too.
And it's like, why? It's like they went overboard with the special effects, so it screwed them up because they were unable to actually focus on like one thing here and there. Anyway, I could go on and on about why I think the prequels are garbage. So, what games? We had E3 last month.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of games coming out that are not coming out this year. Are there any games that were announced at E3 that you're excited about?
Doom Eternal, for sure. Doom Eternal. The new Fallout game, I could take it or leave it. Really?
I'm excited to see what it does.
Yeah, I'm interested
intrigued.
in watching people play it first.
Right? Like, I don't know if I want to invest in it because I actually haven't played the other Fallout games, but I'm definitely intrigued
as to how they're
And
gonna make it. Yeah,
yeah,
GTFO. Yes, I'm very interested in GTFO.
so many people are so many people want GTFO. Yeah.
Yeah, so and I've added this to my wish list. I've added GTO to my wish list. My friend Pedro, I added that
I
to my
want
wish
that game
list.
so bad.
I'll
Oh
have
my
to have
god.
that game.
That game looks so awesome. I just want to shoot a pan and it just go two ways and kill people. Like that just
Yes.
looks awesome.
Yeah, it was just like, what is this madness? I want that, you know?
I love
And
the art style in that game too. Like it's
yeah.
it's different from any other art style I've really seen in games. So I really I'm digging that.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really cool. And Red Dead, you know, I'm interested in. I'm more interested in watching it than playing it.
Well, I will make sure to play it for you. Okay.
Okay, cool. Because I have to see it.
I mean, I'll be at TwitchCon when it releases. I'm really pissed that Red Dead 2 comes out while we're in California at TwitchCon. But luckily, I'll be in California then, so it won't take me long to go home and play some Red Dead, right?
Right. Yes,
I won't have to fly 2,000 miles home to play Red Dead Redemption.
That's right. That's awesome.
Are there any games that weren't announced at E3 that you've just been keeping your eye on?
No. It's so hard. It's just so hard to keep up with all the games. It's just there are games that have already come out that I was already interested in. You know, of course, I'm looking forward to the last season of the Walking Dead game. They've announced Telltale announced Wolf Among Us season 2, and I'm like, yes, I can't wait. You know,
I haven't played Wolf Among Us, but yeah, I remember them announcing the second one.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And you know, other than that, the other games that I was interested in have already, you know, pretty much come out. Bless Online, Conan Exiles, you know, the Stranger Things game I'm looking forward to as well because they announced that on the Telltale page.
Stranger Things. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
A couple weeks ago.
I remember seeing a blurb about that. Yes,
mm-hmm.
I remember seeing I just saw Stranger Things game. And that's it. I didn't click on it or anything, but yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, and they haven't given us a lot of details. All they said was, you know, hey, we're partnering up with Netflix to bring this. And it's like, all right, take my money now. I want it. I'm ready to go. You know.
So, is there where I've lost my place again. Okay, what is one game that you would want to have a reboot or remastering of?
Can I give you two?
Yeah.
All right. One is an old NES game that I really loved called The Adventures of Bayou Billy. No, The Adventures of Bayou Billy. Hello, Kitty Cat.
Okay.
And it's a game where, you know, it's totally tropey, but it was really cool. Where, you know, this guy's girlfriend gets kidnapped and you're having to fight your way through the bayou to go get her, you know.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, and it was on the NES you had to play not only with the gamepad, but you also had to play with the zapper. So you had to switch between playing with the gamepad and going through some of the levels with the zapper. So I thought that was really cool.
That's so much. Yeah. That's so much.
But now, you know, of course, now if it's remastered, you don't have to swap. You know, you can just use your keyboard and mouse and do all that stuff. But it was really cool for the time to have to, you know, swap off the controllers and, you know, and do that. And I thought that was really cool. You know, I'm good at shooters, so it's like, okay, if they're shooting, I'm probably playing it.
I'm gonna have to go look this game up because I did not remember this game.
Yeah, and the other one I would love to see maybe a remaster of, or would be Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I would love to see the PS1 graphics updated to now. It would be cool. Same soundtrack. Don't change that. Don't change the soundtrack. Just remaster the graphics. Soundtrack's amazing.
Okay, you know what? That actually makes me think of a question. That's kind of on the subject, but kind of not a follow up. When it comes to games, do you think sound matters over graphics, or graphics matter over sound?
I think the sound matters. We talked about Mercenaries Playground of Destruction, and one of the cool things about that game is that as I'm driving around the North Korean landscape,
yeah,
it feels like you're in a movie because the soundtrack is so grand. It has a symphony soundtrack, and it sounds like it's straight out of a movie, and you feel like an action hero. So yeah, the sound is very important, you know.
I think it's a lot like movies when it comes to that, like because sounds are music, and the soundtrack, it's what immerses you in the game. So, you know, the quality of the graphics don't have to be the highest quality, as long as, because people will ignore a blurry screen before they ignore bad audio.
Yeah, there's a game that I had played called Lone Survivor. It's an indie game that I picked up off of like a GOG or something like that.
I know this game.
And
I've
you're just,
seen...
you know, and it's very pixel, and you're just like a little dude going across the screen, going through and dealing with monster stuff. But the music is so good that, you know, it just kind of puts you in this world, you know. I love that game. That's a really great game for folks that, you know, probably like stuff that's investigative but not real scary.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Lone Survivor. Okay, I've heard of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I'm trying to remember it. It's been a while, but yeah, that's cool. I find that funny that you brought up, like, don't change the audio because the audio is fantastic.
Yeah. That the soundtrack for Castlevania Symphony of the Night is hands down 100% my favorite game soundtrack. I love it.
See,
I would turn the game on just to listen to that.
Nice. See, I think one of the big things that kept me going back to WoW was part of the sound, because at some point I would turn the music off, but every so often I would love just turning the music on and listening, because it is very immersive and it really gets you into the game. And they do such a good job with the music in WoW. Hands down, for me, WoW soundtrack of Lich King is my favorite when it comes to video game. It's so good. It's so good. They've got a lot of Celtic sounds in the Lich King soundtrack, like the very Celtic vibey, because it's in the north and everything. So bouncing off of that, like, what's your take? Like, do you like pew pew games? You like FPSs, but you also like story driven games. What keeps you coming back to those games? Because they are very different types of games. Like, what keeps you coming back to those, you know, an FPS game?
Now most of the FPS games that I play, or any shooters that I play, typically have a good story. I played The Division, which I love, and the story is great, which is what got me interested in the game.
Okay.
You know.
So do you play games like PUBG and stuff like that? Okay, so
no.
You stick to the more story-driven FPSs then, not just your... So do you play Call of Duty at all?
I've never played a Call of Duty game.
Okay, so, alright, okay, so you tend to stick with the story. That's what grabs you.
That's what brings me in.
Do you ever play, like, platformer games or puzzle games or anything like that as well?
Oh, puzzle games. Yes, I do love a good puzzle. That and the hidden objects. I love hidden object games.
Me too!
I just bought the Tutors on GOG. You know, I'm obsessed with the Tutors TV show. So when I saw there was a Tutors game, I was like, yes, okay, I have to have that. You know, I haven't gotten very far into it yet, but it's so far it's pretty cool. I like that one. Other puzzle games, I love Puzzle Quest. And
Yeah.
I've played, the Marvel Puzzle Quest, and then just like the regular Puzzle Quest. I love those. Um, I'm very into those types of games, and I'm also addicted to mobile games. I'm very
Um,
addicted.
I'm a Hogwarts. Do you play Hogwarts Mystery?
I had it, and then I uninstalled it because I didn't know anybody playing it. So I will reinstall it.
Okay, like I did a review. I like it so much. I did a review for it for the Cosmic Bulletin. Okay,
Nice.
I even streamed myself playing this stupid mobile game. It's actually really good, and the story is really good.
I'll reinstall it. I'll give it a chance.
I hate that I can't like just go through the story really fast, but at the same time, I really like that it throttles me to take my time and enjoy the story. Like I've been playing the game since it came out, and I'm only in I'm only in year 2 still. I'm still in year 2.
Wow.
I'm about to end it. Like after this podcast, I'll go finish up my stuff and I'll end year 2. But the story of it, like, I love. Okay, this is not my podcast, but you'll like it if you like story-driven games. Do you like the Harry Potter series?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I love the movies. I only got halfway through the first book, but I love the movies.
Girl, we need to get you through the books. The books are way better. I mean, I love the movies. I love the movies. I love the books. I reread the books every year. So okay, if you like the series, you will really enjoy it because it takes time between Voldemort's fall and Harry going to school. So you meet Tonks, you meet Bill Weasley. You are the age of Bill and Charlie Weasley and Tonks. So when Harry comes to school, you are out of school, but you're still there. It's actually really cool the way they integrated this into the
story itself.
The story. Yeah. It's beautiful, cool. And I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I will give it another chance. Right now, I'm addicted to Choices. Very addicted to Choices.
Choices, is that like noir kind of game where you have no. I know which one Choices. Really? I'm judging you right now for that one.
Then you really don't want to know about my favorite mobile game. You'll totally
where the girl like gets pregnant. It's like all the ads are like, is she pregnant? Is she not pregnant? And
no. That's a different one. That's a different game. It's similar. That one's Chapters. I know what that one is.
Chapters. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Choices has different books, and I'm quite addicted to them. Mostly because, and I started playing it because, I'm interested in how they get it's almost like choose your own adventure books. Those old school
that's
things
cool.
From back in the day. Woo!
I love a good choose your own adventure book.
Yeah, and I was interested in that because I want to maybe see about writing one. Because Choices doesn't have that option, but actually Chapters does, where you can write your own and then sell it to the folks that play the game. So I think that would be kind of interesting to see what I can do with that.
Nice. That's cool. God, okay, so I don't play a lot of mobile games, but I hate this idea that mobile games are not real games. They are. They're just really, I agree. The people who make them just make a lot of money making them because they're a different kind of platform. I mean, I don't spend a lot of money on mobile games. I have spent money on the Hogwarts game, but come on, my name is Nymphadora. Come on. I met myself in game and I flipped my shit when I met her in game. I was like, it's me!
Right.
I was like, look, it's me! She totally dresses like how I would dress too. I was so excited. I was so excited. I have never felt such a kinship to a freaking literature character as I do Nymphadora Tonks. It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on. We need to learn more about you, not me. Oh, I play Animal. I need to get back into it, but I was playing the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp game as well, because I mean it's.
I had to delete it. It was too much.
It's. I go through these phases with Animal Crossing games. Like, I love them. They're fun, but it's like, oh my god, this is taking forever. I gotta stop it. And then I go back. Yeah, it's...
Yeah. Yes.
It is, somebody in chat said it's tedious. It is very tedious. I want to say it's more tedious than the Wii Animal Crossing game.
Oh.
That one was pretty tedious.
Yes.
So, is there a game that you would actually like to play again as if it were the first time?
Ooh. You know, I really would love to revisit Vice City, because I haven't played that one in a long time. And Vice City is my favorite Grand Theft Auto game.
That is such a good one. That is such a good one.
Yeah, Vice City I would love to go back to.
That's the only one I've actually... Well, I've beaten 5, but Vice City is the only one that I've completed the story and actually finished. I never finished San Andreas. I never finished 3. And I didn't play the others. It's such a good... I love that one too. That is one of the best ones. It really is. The soundtrack is fantastic.
Oh yeah. That's like the main thing. Again, it's all about the sound. You know.
And now, come on, it's essentially Scarface.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's so camp.
if you look at the game, like, down to the rooms in the house at the end, it's Scarface. Like, I was watching Scarface for the first time, I might add, a few months ago, and I was like, wait, this looks like Vice City. Whoa! So yeah, that's why it's so good, because it's a good story.
Yeah.
It's a very good story.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fun to play for the first time again.
Yeah.
So
you know,
good.
there's other games that I plan to revisit already, but Vice City is it's one that I still have on the PlayStation 2, and I'd have to hook up my PlayStation in order to play it, and so it would be cool to get it elsewhere. I might have to just buy it so I can play it again.
What is the oldest game in your backlog that you have not beaten?
Wow. Red Dead Revolver. The first game, I never finished it.
Isn't that like one of the first ones that started Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah, that was the first game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the first game, and it was on PlayStation 2, and I will never forget it, because the cutscene, you could never skip the cutscene. You always had to watch it, and it starts well in the semifinal round, and I heard that so many times and lost that darn gun battle so many times that I was like, I'm done. I'm not playing this game anymore. Forget it. Put it back in the box. I never finished it. And you know, now everybody's like all hyped about Red Dead Redemption and stuff. It's like, but I never finished the first game.
I actually didn't play anything before Red Dead Redemption. So, like, do the stories do anything, or are they connected at all?
Yeah, as far as I know, they are not connected.
Oh, okay, good. Then I don't feel bad.
Yeah. No. Yeah, because a lot of people think that the Red Dead Redemption game is the first one. It's like, well, no, Red Dead Revolver came out on PlayStation 2 a long time ago, you know. So.
Rockstar did a really good job with the Western game there. Like, they really did a fantastic job with. So I am really looking forward to 2, just because, like, I play RDR 1 all the time.
Yeah.
I go back and play that all the time.
Yeah, I have that game and I haven't yet played it, so I think I will probably roll that on stream at some point because I've
You
never played
should.
it.
Really? You've never?
Yeah,
Oh my god, you should
yeah,
play it.
yeah. I
I
had
went through
I
so
hadn't
many
had a chance to play it.
horses. I played it on Girlstreamers last year, and I went through so many horses.
Hmm.
No, it was the beginning of this year. Yeah, I ended up. My horses were named Susan, and we had Susan 2.0, Susan 3.0, Susan 5.0.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think that would be cool. I would definitely I would like to play it, and at the time I didn't have the game system to play it, but now I have an Xbox One, so you know I'm able to play it now. But that's one I'm actually very interested in getting into.
I highly recommend it. It is one of my it is, excuse me, in my top 5 as far as games go. Probably it rides the line for first. Like it's kind of tied with my favorite. The Sly Cooper series is definitely one of my favorite games, and those two
Hmm.
games kind of are on the same level for me.
Nice,
Uh,
yeah.
Is there any trend that you would like to see change in the gaming industry? For example, less microtransactions, more female protagonists, more battle royale, less battle royale, uh, stuff like that. Is there any kind of trend like that that you would like to see more of?
Yeah. More female protagonists would be awesome. Or even allowing character gen to do that. Um, if you're letting me create my own character and then let it become part of the story, then I'm probably interested. Um, I would love to see more single player story driven games, or even squad based story driven games, like say the Division. You know, I would love to see more of that. Um,
I would like to
one
see
of
some
yeah.
squad based games. I mean, I don't like Division. I don't even like to watch it, but I do like that kind of campaign thing. I know Call of Duty Black Ops 2 gives you an option to do multiplayer campaign mode. That would be kind of cool to see more stuff like that where you
Yeah,
all of you do part of the mission, and it's yeah, I like that. That's a good one.
yeah. Division 2 is actually set to have specialties. So, folks, there would be somebody who could specialize in demolition, somebody who could specialize in stealth, somebody who could specialize in sniping. And I like that. It's like, okay, if everybody has a role, then this makes it more fun. It's like, all right, it's a
Yeah,
team effort at that point. Yeah.
that's cool.
um, yeah, and more diversity in the character types. I'd like to see that as well. Not just in skin tone, but just diversity in character types in general. That's a discussion that I actually had on Facebook. I have friends who, one of my friends is like, well, I want a character that I can play that's wheelchair bound, like my friend is. And I was like, you know what? I think it's awesome to have the idea that a hero can also, have a different abilities and
Yeah,
be different bodied. You know, I think that would be fantastic, and it's an untapped market.
it is. What's that? Oh, there's that game, that E3 that came out. It's not coming out until 2019, like every other game announced at E3. But it's the
I
one
know,
about
right?
the deaf superhero where they had real footage mixed with game footage. I can't
Yeah,
remember. Was it Silent or
I think
something?
so, and that sounds familiar. And then there's other games where you get to play protagonists who are blind. You know, but those are VR games, and they're actually pretty good. I can't remember the name of that right
Oh,
now, but
that would be cool. Yeah.
yeah, and you have to use you have to use sound in order to navigate
Move.
your way through the world. Yeah.
That's pretty neat. That's See, that's one advantage that VR kind of has over stuff like over, you know, your general console is that you can kind of be a little bit more immersive in that kind of aspect and make it more. VR has such a really cool thing about it. You can use it as a teaching mechanism, right?
Yes.
Like you could easily take it and go, you want to know what it's like driving drunk? Here you go. And set them down and give them that, you know, that thing. And but also these amazing games are like, I was watching Carice play Beat Saber the other day. Oh my god, that game looks so fun.
I want that game so bad.
Me too. That game looks so fun. Like there's so much potential in the VR perspective, in the VR realm, that you don't actually get. Like you can do a driving game, you know, a driving drunk kind of thing, but you can really do it with VR. Or you know, even I know I went the educational route, but the surgery thing, like you could learn how to do surgery with VR. Like it's just cool. Like it's just such a cool. You can go outside the realm of games with a VR, which I find really, really, really neat and really fascinating.
And I got my first experiences with VR was through I had when I bought my Samsung, when I bought my phone, I got the Gear VR for free. They gave it to us, and you know, some of the games, well, the one that really kind of nailed it for me was Face Your Fears, and that scared the bejesus out of me because one of the fears was birds, and I don't like birds. I do not like birds.
I don't like birds in mass. Like a bird is okay. Birds in mass? Nah.
There's a problem. Like, you know. So I don't like birds, but I was sitting there and I was playing this particular section of the game and stuff, and I mean it freaked me out so bad that I ended up falling on my bed because I was so scared.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know, because I was standing and playing with it in my bedroom, and then I just stumbled back and fell on the bed because I was freaking out, you know. And but I think that VR has a lot of potential if you can get it to where you can start to get the sensory stuff along with it.
Oh yeah.
Instead of it's like, okay, can you touch it, or if something happens in the game, will it vibrate? You know what I mean? So you can really feel it. Once it gets to that point, oh man, it'll get crazy. I think VR has a little ways to go though.
And the thing is, like, there's already doctors who are using robots to do surgeries and stuff, right? And they use the fingertip sensory stuff, so it really wouldn't be too far. It wouldn't be hard to actually use that type of technology. It's the cost is where that comes into play. It's when that becomes more cost effective and people can actually afford it to do that. But I don't think we're that far from it.
No, we're getting there. And I think that's going to be the next level right there.
Yeah, definitely. There's just I VR, because they've tried. VR has always been something that we've been trying to have, much like the 3D stuff for movies. There's always been an attempt at it, but it wasn't until James Cameron invented a camera that I invented at 10 years old, by the way.
Somebody owes you a check.
When I learned his camera, I looked at my dad and said, "Doesn't that sound familiar?" He said, "Yes, it does. Yes, it does, my dear."
Oh,
so, I still think 3D is garbage for certain things.
Yeah.
Because live action's just, it's one of those things that we're not going to go down that route because
very few movies are worth it in 3D.
Agreed.
Very few.
I thought Avatar looked better in 2D than it did 3D.
I did not like that movie.
Visually, it was stunning. The story was kind of meh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was where I was with it. I fell asleep during it. And I woke up and I'm poking I'm poking my husband, and I was like, you know, I look up and I'm looking at the screen and I'm kind of, half asleep. And I said, "Oh, is he like gaining the trust of the natives?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay." you know, like I'm out. I already know what's happening. I don't care.
So, who inspired? We're going to take things down a little bit.
All
Who
right.
inspires you to be the woman you are today?
Um, Totally cliche answer, I guess, would be my mom. She's
Boring. Next,
I
next
know.
question. I'm just kidding. Continue with
Yeah.
your answer, please.
Yes. My mom is a pretty, wicked sense of humor, and she cracks me up, and she's just, she's tough and brilliant, and and she inspires me to be the woman I am today.
That's awesome. So, what do you like about being a part of Girl Streamers, especially as I'd say an OG Girl Streamer? What has kept you here? Because you've seen it evolve, and
Yeah.
you've seen mistakes, you've seen downfalls, you've seen good stuff. You've seen it all. What is
Yeah.
it that keeps you coming back and staying, and keeps you an active part of the community?
I like just that, that there's other folks to go to if there's something going on. Other only people that can really relate to things that happen as a streamer who happens to be female is other streamers who happen to be female. so, so there is that, and the community is supportive, and I really appreciated that about the community. That you don't have to have a huge following in order to be a part of it, and I think that's really cool. And that you have streamers who are partnered, who are more than willing to talk to you about what's going on
Mm-hmm.
with your streams and things. So that's what attracted me to the group initially, because there were other groups that were more for girl streamers or lady streamers and stuff that I just wasn't vibing with.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I saw girl streamers on Twitter, it was just like, you know what, these folks look like they're pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and hang out, and I'll stay.
Completely opposite of what I got when I was approached. That's so funny. So funny. I thought it was a porn thing. Okay, that's like I thought it was a porn thing, and Dad's like, yeah, no, no, it's not.
Thank goodness that got squared away real quick.
I'm like, I'm not really into that, but thanks for reaching out to me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no. I mean, luckily I got that kind of advanced notice as to what it was, based on the channel name, so I had a little bit of notice first,
Didn't
and
Kinky reach out to you and was like, "Hey, poke, 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 you need to join"?
yeah, Kiki was one of the first folks that I talked to in the group, and then
Me too.
yeah,
It's
and there were other
weird.
folks that were part of it, like Ed Hildistrian. She was cool, and I was like, well, should I try to join now? This is before I told you about that 100-follower thing. And she's like, oh, well, yeah, you can. And I was like, no, that's okay. I'll just wait.
Oh my god.
I'll wait. And Easy, she was there at the beginning and stuff, and welcomed me in, and was super cool. A lot of Blaker Girl, I met her at the beginning. You know,
Yeah, Blaker Girl's
so
been
yeah,
here from almost the OG as well. Yeah,
yeah,
there's still a good bit of the OG around. There's still a good bit.
yeah. So there's a lot of really cool gals that I
Mm-hmm.
was like, all right, yeah, let's hang out, and we can do some things.
So, what keeps you so passionate about gaming and, as a whole, just the community?
um, what keeps me passionate about gaming is that there are still great stories out there to be told. That keeps me playing games. You know, if a game is starting, if the game doesn't have a good story, I probably am not playing it. So when we start running out of stories to tell, I will probably just find another hobby.
I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I mean,
No, so
you
thank
can't
goodness for that.
you can't see behind me, but right before the podcast, because I have the green screen, I was scrabbling to put my green screen back up because I had bookcases behind it, and we just took out two massive bookcases of books. Just packed up two massive bookcases of books over the weekend, and took out two bookcases, and then I put my freaking green screen back up. It's just taped to the wall at this point. I'm like, you know what? I'm moving in 2 months. I don't care. It's 97-cent poster board from Walmart. I don't care anymore. Just don't care. But yeah, we have like thousands of books, and stories will that, you know, I love that you say that about stories. Like, that's what keeps you, well, that's what keeps me rereading Harry Potter every year. I still feel and get that thrill of being in the story, watching these things unfold, and it's essentially a visual novel. And I know some games are actually called visual novel games, but you are the protagonist or whatever in the game. You know, you are that person in the game, and that's like one step more than what a book does, because you're the one who makes those choices. And the people who, like at Telltale, the people who make those kind of games where your decisions will result in certain things towards the end.
Yeah, affects the outcome.
Like, that's amazing. There's so much that goes into that. And it is essentially the, what was it you called it? The, build your own...
Oh, the choices. Yeah, it's a choose your own adventure novel.
Yeah, it is. It's that it collides. I think games collide those worlds in a very good manner, and I don't think they're ever going to go away.
No. So thankfully, as long as stories will continue to be told, I will keep gaming.
But I love that you said that, because I agree. I think that's one of the big things that keeps people coming back to games, as not just you. I mean, never really thought about it, but yeah, that's kind of what keeps me coming back to it as well.
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, I've asked people many times, like, you know, what are your favorite games? What are games that you really love? And a good portion of the games that people say that they love, they most of them have really good story. You hear BioShock come up a lot. You hear Red Dead Redemption come up a lot. You know,
Fallout
Castlevania
comes
series,
up a lot.
Fallout, Resident Evil. Those games have amazing stories, and because of that, people continue to gravitate to them, even if the game isn't that good. They'll still play it anyway, you know, because they love the story.
What is your greatest challenge or obstacle that you have had to overcome in your life?
It's happening right now, which is funny. You know, the whole like being a more public face, I guess. You know, I'm not saying I'm some kind of celebrity or something by any means. That's not even what I mean when I'm saying that. Before streaming, there's just no way that I would sit and do what I'm doing right now, talking to you, and I'm on camera doing it. You know, there was no way I would do that. A couple months ago, I was able to do a panel at the Comic-Con here locally, along with a team that I'm on with Broadcast Phoenix. And there's no way, if you had asked me that a few years ago, hey, would you like to be on a panel at Comic-Con? And I'm like, who?
What?
Not me, no.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, you know, to just get out there and put myself out there more is something that, you know, is something that I've had to overcome, you know.
Putting yourself out there is tough.
Yeah.
Like in any aspect, putting yourself out there as a creative person. I think I've mentioned this on the show before, but I've had this discussion. I know with Miss DJM and others before, like rejection, and is one of my biggest fears as a creative person. I hate hearing. Not that I hate hearing the word no, because I learn from it, but there's still that fear that I failed, and so that rejection just makes me feel like, well, you don't deserve to be here because you're not good enough, right?
Yeah.
But, and I think this will do really well for you. One of the things that is funny, I wrote it down actually, because I think that a lot of putting yourself out there is that fear of failure. Like, oh God, everybody's gonna hate me, right? Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Falling is not failure. The failure is staying where you've fallen. And I have it. I saw that the other day, and I wrote it on my desktop plotter here. And that, to me, that it's so good. Like, it's just a good thing to think about. And yeah, I'm still gonna be terrified of that. Like, I don't have a problem falling on my face, in public. I just get up and bow. But when it comes to something I'm passionate about, like video games or like movie making or anything like that, that's where that fear comes into play. So I get you, boo. I get you. I totally
you understand me.
And do you consider yourself extroverted or introverted?
I think I come off like an extrovert, but I'm not. I don't think so. I feel I'm more of an introvert.
As someone who doesn't like to show their face on camera, I kind of figured you were an introvert. Like, I'm like, I'm an extrovert. Now, I do recharge similarly to an introvert sometimes, because I will get overloaded, like, especially at conventions like Dragon Con, because there's so many people. I have to, like, decompress by not talking to people for a while. Because it, like, overloads my senses. But, like, when I'm there, man, I'm on point. I'm, like, it's just afterwards, it's like, oh, dang, I'm drained.
Yeah. I was totally nervous just doing this. So, but now, I'm now that I'm here, I'm comfortable, so it's like, all right. So just the nerves leading up to it,
So then the next panel you're gonna do is
I don't know. I will be I will be attending it's a game convention that's happening here in a few weeks here locally, and of course I'll be there, representing the channel and stuff. But there hasn't been any talk about a panel there yet. So, but now that I've already done it, if somebody asked me to do one, I'd be all for it. I'd be totally down.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. So then you're gonna start streaming with the cam more often, right? Because we want to see your pretty face. Because you got a pretty face.
Oh, thank you.
You have you have beautiful eyes. I love your eyes and your smile.
Thanks. I would like to. And actually, Jingo the Fool, my husband, was, he was like, you should start using your cam more. And I'm like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Well, girl, you ready now?
Yeah, I did use it for the Dead by Daylight stream I did, a couple weeks ago, because when it's one thing to like hear me freak out, it's another one to see it. So it's like, okay, I'll do it for that.
The one that I popped in and played a round or something. Yeah.
So I was like, okay,
that
I'll
was
do
fun.
it for that.
Watching that multi-stream. Y'all were fun. You're hilarious on stream. You really are.
Thank you. Laughter is like a huge thing on my stream. I laugh at myself a lot, and I laugh at the reactions that people have to, me killing off their favorite characters and stuff. So it kind of drives what I'm doing, it drives. If I'm not laughing at it, then it's just like,
So if you could give your past self 1 to 2 words of advice from the wisdom and experience you've gained up until now, what would they be?
Be confident. You know,
Yeah.
that was something that I really wasn't in high school. You know, but definitely be confident. It's something that I would say. You know, and and I know it's more than two words, but I'd say take more chances. I didn't do that a lot either because, you know, it's and I think it's something that I've talked about with other
Oh,
people is
yeah.
that, you know, as creatives, we tend to not want, just like we were talking about the rejection thing, you don't want people to say it sucks. You know, so
Right?
you know, so I'm one of those people who, like, I don't put it out there. I don't talk, you know, like, oh no, I don't want anybody to see that, because, you know, you just don't want people to say, oh well, that's garbage, you know. Even if, you know, and stuff. So put yourself out there. I think that's another one.
But if you don't make those leaps, and you'll never know what good could come of it.
Right.
Sorry.
I think I get where you're going.
He's real worried about our move because we technically don't have a place to stay in California. So, but he can't hear me now. He's got his headphones on.
Yes, you
I'm
know,
like,
but I, yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, I wish I had taken more chances at an earlier age. Like, as I got older, I got more confident in taking those chances. But I'm with you. I wish I had taken more chances younger, because I feel like I would be obviously in a different place.
right.
But yeah, taking more chances. There are some things that you still question, like, what what could have happened there if I had done that or done that? You know,
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah, you know, and we all play that what if game. We all do it, you
oh, definitely.
know.
So, what trait of yours are you most proud of?
um, I would say my creativity. It's something that I'm very proud of. You know, um, I think I'll also uh I don't know. I would say my heart. I guess I would say my heart is something that I'm also proud of. That I try, you know, I try to be caring, and I try to be nice, because those are things that I want from myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I try to be understanding to a point. You know, I try to understand other people's perspectives. You know, and so that's something that I'd say is something that I'm proud of as well, because, you know, it's hard to see other people's sides.
It is.
It's
I
hard to do
think
that.
that's something that's also really undervalued in our current uh, atmosphere,
Hmm.
because people just they want to be heard, but they don't want to also listen,
Hmm.
which is just as important. Um,
Yeah.
so I think that's a very good trait to be proud of, because not a lot of people have that trait. Not
Right.
everybody is good at listening to other people. So, what is your greatest insecurity?
Ooh. Um. Greatest insecurity. Whoa, that's tough. Because, you know, it's hard to talk about those things. It's like, you know. um. I think that not being liked. I'll just be real about that. It's like, I think that's one of the you know, it's like, not everybody has to like me, and I'm not even talking about that. You know, it's like, I don't go out of my way for that to happen,
Right.
but I do try. I do try to, you know, to be someone that people would be interested in talking to, or, you know, somebody that they can relate to. I try that, and it's sometimes it's just hard for that to happen. You know, it's not
Yeah.
going to. Sometimes people just don't like you, and they just don't. You know, and that's always tough. But then, you know, it's just something that you have to just kind of let. Just like, okay, well, they don't dig you. Okay, that's cool, and just keep moving. You know.
That's really hard to let go, because
Yeah.
everybody wants to be loved. Everybody
Hmm.
wants to feel worthy, and when someone doesn't like you, even though you've got 100 people who do, that one person who doesn't, it's like, okay, well then what's wrong with me? Why don't people like me?
Hmm.
And so that's, I think that's a very valid insecurity. And I think more people have it than they want to admit.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot more people are more insecure about that than they want to admit. So,
yeah.
Speaking of insecure people, have you ever been trolled?
Oh, yeah.
You see how I did that segue there?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. My experience with trolls in my channel is really limited. And and it's something that I've talked about, with other people, but I think part of that is, because I think part of that is because I don't typically use my camera. But it was a night that I was just doing my normal thing. Wasn't, I think I was playing Star Wars or something. And this guy comes in and he like insulted my picture or something like that. And I'm like, what? Like, are you serious? It's like you took time out of your day to come in and tell me that you think I'm ugly. Fan freaking tastic. Are you really serious, guy?
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I just thought that was hysterical. Or, and then he insulted my gameplay, which I tell people all the time. It's like, if you're expecting pro level play, wrong stream, boo. Not mine. Wrong stream. I'm not a pro. I am not a pro, and I don't express to be one. So as it was happening, Jingo was there that night. He was streaming with me, and he was getting upset, and I'm like, it's okay, And I just told this person, like, look, if you're expecting to get a rise out of me and you think I'm gonna rage at you because you told me I'm ugly, it's not gonna happen. You can feel free to see yourself out, or I will kick you out, Or it's just like, well, I call it my disintegrator ray. You will be disintegrated, or you will leave. You will leave of your own volition. What are you gonna do? And he ended up leaving the chat. Anytime that's happened, it's like, if you don't like what I'm playing, if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't like me, see yourself out. There's a door for that.
It's not difficult to find another channel.
No.
Click
right off, please.
I love how upset the hubby got for you. That's so sweet. But I also think that's kind of a he's a dude. You're a girl. You kind of deal with that kind of stuff in real life as well as online. So it's it's a sad thing to say. We're kind of used to it,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really sad to say. Like,
yeah.
All right, I want to complain about this. All right, I'm sorry. I got to. This shit pissed me off yesterday. So we're cleaning out our closets and stuff, and I had 2 massive bags to go donate to Goodwill of clothes that are either too big, we just don't wear anymore, whatever, because we both have lost a lot of weight, and we just don't need them anymore. We're moving. Let's just, get rid of them. So I went to drop it off, and the guy would not look at my face. He kept looking at my ass.
Oh my god. Like that's a compliment or something.
Like, and he kept doing it this way. Like, I'm facing you. Why are you trying to go around me to look at my booty? Like, dang. Like, and it was obvious what he was doing too. It was so annoying. And I forgot about that until just now when you were talking about that troll, and I'm like, oh, I gotta tell you this, man. I know it's not my podcast. I know I'm interviewing you, but don't that shit drive you nuts?
Yeah. It's I usually get, look here. So
here, yeah. Like
really?
My face is here.
Yeah. It's like, hello, hi. What's up? I'm Kat. I'm up here.
Like, I'm not this beautiful person or anything like that, but I do get, looks, right? Like, even though I'm a big girl, I still get looks, and I just,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you come home, and then you have to deal with it in chat, and it's just like, just whatever. Just get out of here.
Yes.
Just get out of here, because those, honestly, I prefer the trolls online than the trolls in real life. Because sometimes, I mean, I do have an ass that won't quit, Aaron. I know I don't normally respond to chat, but I just broke a cardinal rule. But anyway, we're gonna move on. So, what advice do you have for new people getting into streaming?
Oh my god. Well,
just ignore the trolls.
Just ignore the trolls. That's number one. Don't feed them. This is true. Play what you love. A lot of people, and I see it on Twitter all the time, is that you got folks trying to keep up with the Joneses with all these games, and it's like, you can't do that. My pocketbook is like, no, right? You can't play everything. You cannot. So play what you love, even if it's a game that's 5-10 years old. People will watch it if they're interested,
right?
There's
an audience for everything. That's actually, oh my god, that's the first time anybody has actually said that. But that's so right. Like, my wish list is miles long on Steam, but when you can't afford it, you just can't afford it. Don't go broke trying to. That's such good advice. Such good advice.
And that's really how I started, was just playing games that were old that I just really liked, and don't be afraid to laugh at yourself, and stuff. Don't be afraid of that, because a lot of people kind of dig it when you're cracking yourself up. And don't. I mean, it's good. It's okay to worry about the numbers. I know that a lot of people say, don't think about your numbers. It's okay to worry about it, but don't let it consume you.
Yeah.
If you're not, nobody is going to come up to the stream and, it's your first time streaming and you think you're going to get 150 viewers. Bam. No, that's not how that works. It's like, expect to be talking to yourself a lot, until you start to get that viewership. Worry about the numbers, but just don't let it become your life.
I think that's very valid. Very valid. Especially if you do want to try to somewhat be successful. I mean, I told husband earlier today, like, what my goal was for my stream stuff. Like, there's a certain set. I was like, I would like to hit this, because anything extra, this means I would make this much money a year, which is not a lot. It's less than $2,000 that I'm aiming for. But it would be beneficial and could go to our savings. Like, that's a lot that could go into savings just because I sit here and play video games, right? Like, I do other things to make money. I don't need, and I have a husband who also works, so we don't need the streaming. So I'm not doing it professionally. Besides, I really like what I do for Girlstreamers. So I kind of would rather filter it over in there anyway. But, yeah, like, watching those numbers are good because they do help you improve where you're lacking. But how many times do we see people just get so consumed in the numbers that they end up plateauing and not growing because they're so focused on that? Because it comes out on stream. It comes out. People see that and they get annoyed with that. Like, oh, okay, all right, whatever.
Yeah, or they'll quit altogether because they're upset that they're not getting viewership, So, yeah, that's something I would say for somebody that's new.
Some great advice there. Do you have any cool tattoos, scars, or piercings?
I have 4 tattoos, and then I have my lip pierced, and my ears. I did have a tongue ring, but I took that out a long time ago. Interesting stories about my tattoos is that I've gotten one tattoo with the exception of Phoenix, I've gotten one tattoo in every city that I've lived in.
Well, you're just gonna have to go get a 5th tattoo then.
Yeah, so I have to get a 5th one. I did get a tattoo in Vegas for my 40th birthday, and that's the one that I have on my arm. It's a tattoo of a cat, and stuff that you can't really see, but I have pictures of it, and I did get that one. So that was about over a year ago, and then all the rest of them have been places that I've lived, and now I need to get one for living here in Phoenix.
Nice. Well, then you're gonna have to go get one for Phoenix. Also,
Yes.
watching chat, I was okay. Ask you about your Magic Mike Funko Pop collection.
What? They actually do have Magic Mike Funko Pops. That is true.
I know.
I do not have any. I don't have any. God.
Your mods are such trolls. I love it. Your face. Your face.
I'm like, what? Oh my god. Oh, really tried it. Really tried it tonight. Oh
Your
my god.
face was fantastic. You're like, who said that?
Oh god. I mean, I have a Funko Pop on my desk, but it is not one of the dancers.
I do too. It's Jeff Goldblum. It's sexy Jeff Goldblum. Heck yeah. I love it. I love her little dreads.
And I have Daryl Dixon.
Nice. Yeah. So, I've got a couple more questions for you, sure. And then we will open up for Q&A. We only have one question so far, and now we got 3 questions. We got more. So get your questions in there. Just type !podcast live in chat right now. So if there was one person, past or present, fiction or nonfiction, that you could have dinner with tonight, who would it be and why?
Ooh. I'll give someone that's real and then someone who's not. So
okay.
I would say Anne Rice, because I really love her writing and she's been very inspirational to me. I got to meet her once and I was like freaking out big time.
Nice.
She autographed my book. She told me my name was pretty, and I was like, oh god, I can't believe it. You know.
That's awesome. So that was
cool. And then for a fictional character, I'd have to say Eric Northman, because he is the Viking vampire in my heart. I love him.
So what's an ideal weekend for you?
Ideal weekend would probably be a road trip to Vegas. I love Las Vegas.
Me too. We will. You know what? I will meet you in Vegas. Because if I'm in California, it's only 3 hours away.
Yes.
All about I love Vegas.
I love Vegas.
One of my favorite places to go to.
Yes.
We'll go meet up with Trouble and hang out with her.
Yes. So she's so cool. I love her.
Party it up. Heck yeah. So what are you most thankful for?
I am most thankful for having a very positive community that supports me, yeah, as well as my crazy hubby who very much, has been very supportive of me doing the streaming thing. And that's so much so that now he's doing it. Yes. So yeah, he I said, hey, this is what I want to do, and he's like, oh, okay, that's cool,
Yeah.
Nice. So I'm very lucky to have that, and to have friends that are supportive of what I'm doing and are interested in it, even if they don't game. So.
And my one last question is, what is your strongest passion outside of streaming?
Writing. I am working on a short story right now, so I love to write.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, and
I want to read it.
Oh, well, thank you. That's part of that a whole, put yourself out there thing, because as creatives, we're like, oh, this stuff isn't good, nobody wants to read that, and I'm trying to push my, as I tell people, I'm trying to get out of my own way. So,
Oh my god,
finish
that's
it.
such a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
get
get
out of
out of
my
my
own
own
way.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
and
get in my
and
own way
finish
too.
it. Hmm. It's hard. We're our own worst critic.
We are. Oh my god. I would forever edit the same video over and over and over again because I'll never get it perfect. But at some point, you have to stop.
Yeah, that's so true.
All right. Q&A time. So, the
Sweet.
first question comes from Kinked Nightmare.
All right.
So, you a Martian or nah?
Yes, I am a Martian. I just wear I wear the human suit to not scare the Earth friends.
When I read that, I read it in her voice. Read it in her voice. But I can't mimic Kinky. I just can't. So, Dank Meme asks, is it better to stream a lot every day, or stream less a day, or take breaks a week, or stream every day a week? So that's, I think what they're getting at is, schedule-wise, like, what do you think is best? A schedule, like, what do you think is best as far as streaming goes?
For me personally, when I first started streaming, I did like 4 nights a week, but now I just do it. I've been on a 3 night a week schedule for over a year now. 3 nights a week for about 3 to 4 hours if if I'm streaming on a night off.
Yeah.
So I would say that's just for me personally. Your mileage may vary. You have to tailor it to your life and your schedule.
So, I feel like this is a good. Both questions that Dank Meme asks are good questions that I'm also going to answer with my experience, because I've been streaming about the same time. I think a schedule definitely works, and a lot of people have said this. This has been very common advice. Even if it's just one day a week at the same time, a schedule works. But if that doesn't work for you, make a schedule, because like working retail, your schedules are different every week, right?
Oh,
like
yes.
I remember that. So tailor
yeah.
your schedule each week to whatever your work schedule is that you can work it in, and just post that up. Like I had to do that for a while there, where I was, because my schedule was all over the place. So I was like, all right, each week I'm going to look and see when I can put in a schedule, when I can actually stream. And that totally, and there are lots of streamers that are really successful that do that work that way. So it's like MartianKat said, it is, tailor it to your personal thing, because your followers will come when you can stream. So your community will build up around your streaming.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it's, if your schedule bounces around, then definitely, kind of put it out there. I see people do that at least once a week, and then for, like for me, they pretty much know, okay, these are the times. And I did have to just switch my Friday schedule, and then I went ahead and put that out. But before it was like, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, because we don't change time here, so it's always 5 o'clock my time. You got to change it for where you are, But it's always kind of like, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're gonna see me.
Yeah. Do you stream on the weekends at all?
Every once in a while, not generally.
So not you'll anymore. Have a bonus stream, occasionally.
Yeah, I'll do a pop-up every once in a while.
Yeah, I was, at one point, I was streaming twice Tuesday, twice Thursday. I'm still streaming twice Thursday, but my Tuesday night streams had dwindled a lot, and I wasn't enjoying it anymore, and I was like, you know what? And that was actually the one scheduled date, 9 p.m. Tuesdays. I used to do LFR Tuesday, like drunk LFR Tuesday. I was not in a good place then. I was not in a good place. But
I've been there for one of your drunk streams though. I clipped that once.
I'm sure you did. There's a lot of clips of my drunk streams. I wasn't in a good mental state, but it evolved into Heroes, and then I got to the point where I was kind of bored with Blizzard games. So I was like, you know what? I kind of want Tuesday nights off because there's a lot of networking events that I'm missing. There's $5 Tuesday movie nights. I'd like to take that time and just spend it with the hubby. So I just got rid of it, and I just stream once on Tuesdays in the afternoons. And so it just, schedules evolve constantly. It's just something you have to reassess and readdress whenever your life, because life is constantly evolving and changing.
Yeah. So true. So true.
But that's a very good question. Thank you for asking that question, Dank. It's a really, really good question. So the next question that Dank Meme asked is, should you show your love and appreciation on stream doing things for the viewers if they sub, donate, send bits, or follow?
I think that's for me, I've asked, like, hey, do you guys like want stuff for subbing? And it's either crickets or they just say, no, that's cool. I'm like, okay. But I do celebrate it, so if somebody subs, I do make a big deal out of it, as everyone should, because people can send their money elsewhere or send their Prime sub elsewhere.
Right.
Celebrate it, thank them. If somebody has Twitter, I'll usually shout them out on Twitter, hey, thanks for doing that, stuff like that. So, or message them personally, if they don't have Twitter or something, message them on Twitch to say thank you. But yeah, if folks decided that they wanted stuff, I would be happy to do it. But
that's another really good question. And Stream Theory, which will be the 29th, I think they're addressing audio at the end of the month. But Stream Theory is a really good, it's run by Azili and Carice, and they go over a lot of these types of questions, actually. So you should check out the Stream Theory YouTube. Come back on the 29th, and you can ask even more questions pertaining to the stuff that they're talking about, because these are really good questions.
Absolutely.
So about the appreciation thing, definitely make a big deal and be like, oh my god, anybody who subs to me, I think they're freaking crazy. But I for a while there, I was doing a Humble Bundle giveaway at the end of the month for anybody who subbed. But for the last 4 or 5 months, every time somebody would win, they'd be like, just give it to next month's winner. Just give it to next month's winner. Just give it. And I'm like, okay. So I decided to stop doing that because all of them are like, I don't sub to you for this stuff, which I'm very thankful for. I really appreciate that. But I do try to do community nights, or we do an anime night. So we do movie nights and stuff like that, that's outside of streaming, to hang out with them as a thank you. And you have to be careful when it comes to prizes and giveaways and stuff like that, because you could get into some legal issues there depending on your state. In whatever state you're in, giving a Humble Bundle raffle, giving the Humble Bundle thing to someone for subbing to you could be considered a gamble, and gambling's illegal in a lot of states. So you have to be really careful about that kind of stuff, because it can kind of bite you. It can kind of bite you in the ass. So you got to be careful on that kind of stuff. But again, another really good question, and I think the basic answer is make a big deal about it to them and just ask, like MartianKat and I did. Just ask, do you guys actually want this, or do you want it or not?
Yeah, and I would send emails and stuff, but folks told me that they didn't get them, and that's probably because they don't subscribe or they don't have those types of things turned on through Twitch. So I even
Probably.
stopped doing that. So I was like, because I used to write like really like long lengthy emails, like nobody's responding to me. Why? And it's because folks they don't want notifications sent to their email. Fair enough, you know, but I do have stuff that I could give to them if they really wanted it. So.
Right? Yeah. I will do like giveaways because I will go buy Humble Bundle. And now I'm an affiliate, so I, definitely push people to Humble Bundle. But I'll go buy a bundle and like use it for a giveaway for a random stream. Just be like, I have a random code. Anybody want to win a game?
Yeah. The one time I did give away, and again, I haven't actually done one in a long time, so I'm kind of due
Me
for
either.
it. Yeah.
Kind of backed up on game keys right now.
Yeah, me too. I got a nice list, but I just happened to be, playing Jackbox, and so anybody who won the games or whatever for Jackbox, I just, gave codes out, and folks had a blast doing that. So it was completely random. Wasn't even going to.
I think I was there for that Jackbox giveaway.
So.
Yeah. That was fun. I really like that idea. That's a clever idea.
Yeah, and it just popped up in my head. It's like, you know what? If whoever wins, they get codes. There you go.
And you just hand it to them. Here you go, random code. One of the things I do for subs is because I've got keys that I bought for previous giveaways and stuff like that. They get a chance. So I was listening to the radio, and you can call in and try and make a match. You would call into the radio, and they'd say, okay, pick a number between blah, 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 blah. And so you pick your number, and then you'd say, okay, do you think you know what's behind? Do you think you know what that match is? And if you made that match, you won a prize or something. So yeah. I made a grid, and I have a grid like that. So when people sub, they get a chance to pick two numbers, and if there's a match, they win something. Like one of my longtime subs, who's never won a match, finally got a match, and he won a $15 Amazon card. I mean, it's not much, but that's just nice, something as a little appreciation, and it's something fun for them to just, chill out and enjoy, and it's nothing super serious. So that's there's a lot of cool ways that you can do that, get around the whole legal stuff. I'm married to an attorney, so it helps. I'm like, he's like, oh, there's a loophole here. You can do this. I'm like, oh, sweet. But yeah, so those really good questions. Thank you so much, Dank, for asking those questions. And don't forget to come back for Stream Theory on July 29th. So, MartianKat, this is where we end the stream. Where and when can we find you streaming?
You can find me on Twitch at MartianKat without the underscore. On Twitter, I have MartianKat with the underscore. And my next stream will actually be Monday, tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. 8 p.m. Eastern.
Nice. Very nice. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I have had a blast chatting with you for these last 2 hours.
Thank you. I had fun. It was cool.
Even with the little snafu at the beginning, but that's okay. I can edit that. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please stick around. We always do a raid at the end of the stream, so don't forget to stick around. This has been a Girlstreamers podcast. Thank you for listening. Girlstreamers is partnered with Loot Crate Fresh Designs. I'm sorry, that is an old one. We are no longer... I don't know why that popped up. Sorry. We are partnered with Loot Crate, Simple Jerky, UN Racing Chairs, Glom Tom, and Sennheiser. Oh, and we are also we are now affiliated with Humble Bundle here on Girlstreamers. So, links to all these amazing partners are down below. So please feel free. I feel like I'm missing something in that list. Anyway, sorry. So please feel free to click. Thanks, guys, for all your support. Please follow us at Girlstreamers on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. If you have any questions or would like more information, you can visit our website at girlstreamers.com and contact us through there. You can also subscribe to us on Twitch or GameWist. And don't forget, when you subscribe, you do get access to our Discord fan channel. And you can talk to the girls like MartianKat. You can also buy some super cool gear in our online shop at designedbyhumans.com/shop/girlstreamers. And you can find MartianKat on Twitter at MartianKat_. That's MartianKat_. And on Twitch at twitch.tv/MartianKat. That's MartianKat. Our next podcast will be August 5th with Awesome Owl right here, same time. This podcast is a part of the Two Lazy Dogs Media Group and the Girlstreamers community. Encourage, support, grow.